Hey there. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today because we're about to talk about something that could literally change your life. Liver health. Sounds simple, right? But did you know that liver cancer, one of the deadliest cancers, can develop silently? It often goes unnoticed until it's too late. But here's the good news. Your body is constantly sending out signals. And if you know what to look for, you can catch problems before they spiral out of control. Now, imagine this. You feel a little more tired than usual, or maybe your skin starts to look a bit yellow, but you brush it off thinking it's just stress, or maybe even a little too much sun. What if those small changes are actually early signs of liver cancer? I know, it's hard to believe, but those signs could save your life if you catch them early. In today's video, we're diving deep into 7 early warning signs of liver cancer that everyone should know. Trust me, these signs might seem minor at first glance, but recognizing them could be the key to protecting yourself. Stay with me till the end, because I'll also share some important tips on how to keep your liver in tip-top shape. It's all about being proactive, and your liver is worth it. So, grab a comfy seat, and let's get into it. Let's make sure you're in the know, because your liver health matters more than you think. Ready? Let's go? 1. Unexplained fatigue and weakness. Have you ever had one of those days where you feel completely drained, even though you didn't overwork yourself? Maybe you've had a full night's sleep, but when you wake up in the morning, you're still exhausted. It's like you can't shake that sense of weakness, no matter how much rest you get. We've all been there, right? Here's the thing. This isn't just about a stressful week or not getting enough sleep. Unexplained fatigue, that bone-deep tiredness that doesn't seem to go away, is actually a red flag from your body. And it might be trying to tell you something important. Let me paint a picture for you. A close friend of mine, let's call her Emily, was an overachiever. She was working long hours at a demanding job, but she always pushed through. One morning, she woke up feeling tired even after a full 8 hours of sleep. At first, she chalked it up to the stress of her job. After all, who doesn't feel worn out after a hectic week? But this wasn't the usual kind of tiredness. This wasn't something that would go away after a weekend rest. Days turned into weeks, and Emily's exhaustion only deepened. No matter how much she slept, no matter how healthy her diet was, she couldn't shake that heavy feeling of being completely wiped out. Finally, after ignoring it for a while, she went to her doctor. A blood test and a few scans later, the doctor revealed that her liver was struggling to detoxify her body properly. Emily was shocked. She had no idea that her liver could be the source of such overwhelming tiredness. You see, your liver is your body's detox center. It's the organ responsible for breaking down harmful substances, filtering out toxins, and processing nutrients. When the liver isn't functioning at its best, those toxins build up in your system, and your body's energy levels take a hit. This can lead to the kind of fatigue Emily was feeling, tiredness that doesn't seem to make sense. It's like the energy that should be available to you is being drained by something invisible. Emily's story isn't unique. In fact, many people experience fatigue caused by liver dysfunction and don't realize that it's the liver at the root of the issue. And the thing is, this fatigue often sneaks up on you. At first, it's easy to write it off as just being tired from work, poor sleep, or stress. But when it doesn't go away, that's when you need to take a closer look. Now, you might be wondering, what can you do? If you're feeling unusually weak, drained, or tired, even when you've had enough sleep and are eating well, it's a good idea to get checked out. It might not just be stress or a late-night Netflix binge. It could be your liver crying for help, struggling to filter out the toxins in your body. I know it's easy to brush off those little signs. After all, we're all busy, and life doesn't slow down for anyone. But your body is sending you signals, and those signals are important. If you catch this kind of fatigue early, you can take steps to help your liver and get back to feeling like yourself again. So don't ignore it. If that feeling of exhaustion doesn't go away, no matter what you do, it's time to listen to your body and consult with a healthcare professional. Your liver may need a little help, and early intervention is always better than waiting until things get worse. Remember, your body speaks to you in subtle ways. Sometimes it's telling you to slow down, and sometimes it's telling you something deeper, like the state of your liver. Be proactive about your health. It's worth it, just ask Emily. 2. Yellowing of the skin or eyes, jaundice. Let's talk about something many of us have seen or heard of, yellowing of the skin or eyes, also known as jaundice. We all know it's not normal to have a yellowish tint to your skin or the whites of your eyes, but how many of us really understand what it means when it happens? Jaundice is a serious sign that something's wrong with your liver, but most people only recognize it when it's too late. Here's how jaundice works. Bilirubin is a substance that your liver is responsible for processing. It's produced when red blood cells break down, and the liver is supposed to filter it out of your bloodstream. When the liver gets damaged or isn't working properly, it can't process bilirubin efficiently. As a result, bilirubin builds up in your body, leading to that yellowish hue you see in your skin and eyes. What seems like a simple cosmetic change could actually be a sign that your liver is in distress. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Mike. He came into the office looking a bit off, his skin a little yellow, and his eyes even more so. At first, he didn't think much of it. He had just returned from a week-long vacation at the beach. He thought it was just a mild sunburn or maybe a slight ting gone wrong. But when I examined him more closely, it became clear that something else was happening. After a few tests, Mike was shocked to find out that the yellowing of his skin wasn't from the sun, but from a serious liver issue. His liver wasn't able to filter out the bilirubin, causing it to accumulate in his body. If this had gone unnoticed, things could have escalated quickly. The truth is, jaundice is not just a cosmetic issue. It's a serious warning sign that your liver is struggling. Your liver plays a key role in detoxifying your body, and when it's not functioning correctly, it impacts everything. If you notice that your skin or eyes are turning yellow, or if you're seeing dark urine, these are symptoms that demand immediate attention. Ignoring it could lead to more severe complications that could have been avoided with early detection. Let's make this even clearer. Imagine you're driving your car and the oil light comes on. You don't just ignore it, right? You pull over and check the oil, or you take the car to the mechanic to get it fixed. In the same way, your body is giving you a signal, but how you respond can make all the difference. If your liver is having trouble filtering out waste, it's like your body's engine starting to overheat. You need to address the issue before things get worse. In fact, Mike's story could have been much worse if he hadn't come in when he did. His jaundice was a sign of liver dysfunction that could have progressed into liver failure if untreated. The good news is that because he took action, he was able to receive the treatment he needed to improve his liver health. Here's why jaundice is so important. It's one of the clearest, most visible signs that your liver is in trouble. But too many people think it's nothing serious. Maybe they assume it's just a little irritation or that it'll go away on its own. It won't. If left untreated, conditions like jaundice can develop into much more serious issues like liver cirrhosis or even liver cancer. So what should you do? If you notice any yellowing of your skin or eyes, or if your urine is suddenly much darker than usual, don't wait around for it to go away on its own. See a doctor immediately. It might be something minor, but it could also be your liver calling out for help. Remember this, jaundice is a symptom, not a standalone issue. It's your body's way of telling you that something's off, and it's often an early warning sign of liver distress. The earlier you catch it, the more likely you are to avoid severe complications down the line. In summary, jaundice is not just about looking yellow, it's a message that your liver needs attention. If you notice these symptoms, don't ignore them. Act now to protect your liver, and make sure to stay on top of your health before things spiral into something more serious. 3. Pain or pressure under the right rib. Have you ever felt a persistent, dull ache or a pressure just beneath your right rib cage? Maybe it's not something you've thought about much, or you've chalked it up to indigestion after a big meal. But here's the catch. The area beneath your right ribs isn't just a random spot. It's where your liver resides, and any discomfort or pain here can be a sign that your liver is struggling. The liver is one of the hardest working organs in your body, so when it's under stress, it can start to send out signals. And this kind of pain could be one of them. Let's break it down. Initially, this pain might be mild and sporadic, especially after a large meal. You may feel a slight discomfort or heaviness, and it might disappear after a while. It's easy to write it off as something trivial, perhaps just overeating or even gas. But here's the truth. If the pain persists, intensifies, or continues to come back over time, that's a serious red flag. Now, let me share a real-life story to make this clearer. I once had a patient, Lisa, who came to me after weeks of experiencing sharp, stabbing pain right under her right ribs. At first, she thought it was just indigestion from eating out at restaurants. After all, she had been indulging in some rich foods, pasta, heavy sauces, and maybe a little more wine than usual. But when the pain didn't go away, she started to worry. Lisa tried to ignore it, hoping it would pass, but it didn't. The pain grew sharper, more intense, and it seemed to worsen whenever she ate. Eventually, she came to see me, explaining that her discomfort felt more like pressure, a heavy, uncomfortable feeling in her side that wouldn't let up. After running some tests, we found that her liver wasn't functioning properly and was struggling to process nutrients effectively. The discomfort she felt wasn't just from a big meal. It was a sign that her liver was under stress and was not working like it should. Lisa was lucky. She got the help she needed early, before things got worse. But here's the important takeaway. This kind of pain shouldn't be ignored. It's not just about eating too much or indigestion. Persistent or worsening pain in the right rib area could be a sign of liver distress, which could escalate into something much more serious if left untreated. Liver issues can develop silently, and pain like this can often be the first warning sign that something isn't right. So, what should you do if you experience this kind of pain? First off, don't brush it off. If the pain comes back or becomes more frequent, it's time to take action. Don't wait for it to get worse. While it may not always be something as serious as cancer, it's a warning signal that your liver is struggling. The liver is responsible for a lot of vital functions, like detoxification, metabolism, and nutrient processing. When it's under stress, it's trying to communicate with you. It's saying, I need help. If you've had that dull ache or pressure under your ribs, and it's not going away, don't just assume it's something temporary. Seek medical help. The earlier you catch liver problems, the better the chances for treatment and recovery. A key point to remember, it may not always be cancer or liver failure, but it could be a sign of other liver conditions like fatty liver disease, hepatitis, or liver congestion. Whatever the case, your body is telling you that something's off, and it's crucial to listen. By addressing the issue early on, you give yourself the best chance at keeping your liver healthy and preventing further complications down the road. So, the next time you feel discomfort in your right rib area, ask yourself, is this something I should ignore, or is my liver trying to tell me something? Don't wait to find out the hard way. Pay attention to the signals your body is sending. 4. Sudden weight loss. We've all heard about people intentionally shedding pounds through strict diets or intense workouts. But what happens when the weight starts to disappear without any effort on your part? That's when things can get alarming. You might not be trying to lose weight, but it's happening anyway, and this kind of sudden, unexplained weight loss is often a wake-up call that something deeper is going on inside your body. Now, we've all been there, right? You've seen someone drop weight in a way that seems like magic. Maybe they're just naturally thin, or they found a secret trick to shed pounds without really trying. But if you are losing weight suddenly, and you have no idea why, it's time to pay attention. It could be a sign that your liver, one of your body's most crucial organs, isn't functioning properly. Let me tell you about a patient of mine, Mark, a middle-aged man who came into my office looking frustrated and concerned. He'd been losing weight rapidly without any explanation. Mark wasn't on any special diet or exercise plan. In fact, his appetite had been decreasing, and he was struggling to eat as much as he normally would. Over the course of just a few months, he dropped several pounds that he didn't mean to lose. His energy levels were also dipping, and he felt more weak and nauseous than usual. At first, Mark thought it was just the stress of work. Maybe it was because he'd been burning the candle at both ends, or because he'd been eating less due to his busy schedule. But after a few weeks, the weight loss continued, and he realized that this wasn't something he could simply brush off. When we ran a few tests, the results were eye-opening. His liver wasn't absorbing nutrients properly. Essentially, his liver was struggling to process what he was consuming, which was leading to his rapid weight loss. This is an example of what can happen when your liver isn't working as it should. The liver plays a huge role in digestion and nutrient absorption. If it's not functioning properly, your body can't absorb the necessary nutrients it needs to sustain healthy weight and energy levels. Instead of your body using the nutrients for energy, they just pass through and aren't absorbed properly. As a result, you may experience unexplained weight loss, and it's not something you should ignore. Here's where it gets serious. Sudden weight loss can be a symptom of liver malfunction, and while it may not always be cancer, it could be a sign of liver diseases like fatty liver disease, cirrhosis, or hepatitis. It's easy to dismiss this symptom as just a fluke, but if it's not treated, it can lead to more severe problems down the line. Now, let's talk about what you should do if you find yourself losing weight without trying. First and foremost, don't assume it's just a phase or something that will fix itself. If you notice a significant drop in weight, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like fatigue, nausea, or a lack of appetite, it's time to see a healthcare professional. The problem might not be as simple as stress or overwork. It could be an underlying issue with your liver, and early detection is key to addressing it before it becomes something more serious. Think of it like this. If your body is telling you something is wrong, whether it's weight loss, pain, or fatigue, you need to listen. When Mark came to me, we were able to diagnose and start treatment early. Because of that, we were able to help him get his liver back on track and prevent further damage. But the longer you wait, the more complicated things could get. So, if you find yourself losing weight for no apparent reason, or you start feeling weak, nauseous, or lacking energy, don't wait. Get checked out. Your liver could be trying to tell you that it's time for a change. In the end, sudden weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale, it's about your health. Your body may be sending you an important message, and ignoring it could put you at risk of more severe health issues down the road. So, don't ignore the signs. Take action now to safeguard your liver, and by extension, your overall health. 5. Swollen abdomen and swelling in the legs. If you've ever experienced swelling in your abdomen or legs, you might have brushed it off as just another minor inconvenience. Maybe it's from too much salt, or perhaps it's just from standing on your feet for too long. But here's the thing. Swelling in these areas can actually be a significant sign that your liver isn't functioning properly. And in some cases, it can be a warning sign that something more serious is going on. When the liver isn't working efficiently, it struggles to process and get rid of waste products in your body. As a result, fluid begins to accumulate, often in the abdomen, which leads to abdominal bloating, a condition known as ascites, and sometimes even in the legs. This swelling might seem harmless at first, but it can signal deeper, more serious problems with your liver. Let me share a real-life story to illustrate just how important it is to pay attention to this symptom. A patient of mine, let's call her Sarah, came to see me with concerns about swelling in her feet and lower legs. Sarah had a demanding office job where she spent long hours sitting at a desk, but she thought the swelling was simply from being on her feet for so long. She thought it was just a normal part of working long hours, something that would go away after a good night's rest. But as the days passed, Sarah noticed that the swelling wasn't going down, no matter how much she rested or elevated her legs. In fact, it seemed to be getting worse. When I examined her more closely, I realized there was more going on than just tired legs. Her abdomen had also started to feel bloated, and she complained of feeling uncomfortable after meals, as if her stomach was expanding more than usual. It turned out that Sarah wasn't dealing with simple fluid retention from being on her feet. Her liver was struggling to process fluids properly, and the swelling was a sign of fluid buildup in her abdomen. This condition, known as ascites, can occur when the liver fails to regulate fluid balance effectively. The fact that Sarah was experiencing both legs swelling and abdominal bloating was a key indicator that her liver was in distress. Now, here's where it gets serious. If left untreated, conditions like ascites and leg swelling can escalate into more severe liver complications, such as cirrhosis, liver failure, or other critical liver diseases. In Sarah's case, her swollen legs and abdomen weren't just an inconvenience. They were a warning sign that needed immediate attention. What should you do if you notice this? If you find yourself experiencing swelling in your abdomen or legs, especially if there's no obvious explanation, like excessive salt intake or standing for long periods, it's crucial to get it checked out immediately. Swelling in these areas can be your body's way of telling you that something isn't functioning properly. If your liver isn't able to process fluids, they can accumulate in places like the abdomen and legs, leading to discomfort and more serious health issues down the road. It's easy to dismiss swelling as nothing more than a passing issue, especially if you've had it before after a long day or a salty meal. But the reality is, swelling could be a sign of something deeper, and if it continues or worsens, don't wait for it to go away on its own. If your liver is the source of the problem, addressing it early could be the key to preventing more severe complications. Remember, early intervention is critical. The sooner you identify a potential liver issue, the more options you have to manage or even reverse the damage. So, pay attention to those swelling symptoms, and don't hesitate to see a doctor if you notice persistent bloating or swelling. Think of it like this. Your body is talking to you, and it's sending clear signals that something's wrong. If you ignore it, you might find yourself facing much bigger problems in the future. By taking action now, you're not just addressing a symptom, you're taking control of your health and preventing long-term issues. 6. Easy bruising or bleeding. Imagine this. You bump into something, just a light tap, but the next thing you know, you've got a large, painful bruise. Or maybe, you're noticing tiny red spots on your skin, appearing seemingly out of nowhere. At first, you might think, oh, I must have hit something I didn't notice. But what if those bruises and spots aren't random at all? What if they're signaling something deeper, something that has to do with your liver? The liver plays a vital role in your body's ability to produce clotting factors, the proteins that help your blood clot and stop bleeding when you're injured. Without proper clotting factors, even minor bumps or nicks can cause excessive bruising or bleeding. When your liver isn't functioning properly, it can't produce the necessary clotting factors, leaving you more susceptible to bruising easily or bleeding for no apparent reason. Let me share a story about Tom, one of my patients who experienced exactly this. Tom was an active, healthy guy in his late 30s. He was careful about what he ate, exercised regularly, and didn't have any health problems, at least, that's what he thought. But lately, Tom had noticed something odd. He was bruising at the slightest touch. And it wasn't just one or two bruises. It seemed like every time he accidentally brushed against something, a bruise would appear. It wasn't just annoying, it was alarming. His legs were covered in large, dark bruises that didn't seem to fade. At first, Tom figured maybe he was just getting older, or perhaps his work in construction, where he had to move heavy objects, was making him more prone to accidents. But then the bruising started to get worse. Tom even noticed tiny red spots on his skin, which is called petechiae, small blood vessels beneath the skin that are breaking open. When Tom came to me for help, I could tell right away that something wasn't right. We ran some tests on his liver function, and it turned out that his liver wasn't producing enough of the proteins responsible for blood clotting. This was why he was bruising and bleeding so easily. Tom didn't have a diet or lifestyle problem. He had an underlying liver issue that was affecting his ability to heal and prevent bleeding. It was a wake-up call for Tom and for many others. Easy bruising and bleeding are often overlooked, especially as we get older. But these seemingly minor symptoms could be a sign of a serious problem with your liver. If your liver can't produce enough clotting factors, it means your body doesn't have the tools it needs to stop bleeding effectively. So, even a small bump can result in a significant bruise, and tiny blood vessels can break, causing those red spots on your skin. What does this mean for you? If you're noticing bruises without any clear reason, or if you find yourself bleeding more easily than usual, don't just assume it's a normal part of aging or bad luck. Get your liver checked. These signs could be an important clue that something isn't functioning correctly inside your body. It's easy to ignore minor symptoms like this, but bruising easily and unexplained bleeding could be your liver's way of signaling distress. Remember, your liver is a powerhouse when it comes to detoxifying your body, producing vital proteins, and keeping you healthy. If it's not working properly, it can lead to a cascade of issues, and problems with clotting are just one of them. So, don't wait for the symptoms to get worse. If you find yourself bruising or bleeding more than usual, take action and seek medical help. The sooner you catch a liver issue, the easier it is to manage and treat. Tom's case wasn't as bad as it could have been, thanks to early intervention. But the earlier you act, the better your chances are of protecting your liver and your overall health. 7. Persistent itchy skin or rashes. We've all had the occasional itch, right? Maybe it's just dry skin after a long day or a reaction to an insect bite. But what happens when the itch won't stop, even after trying every lotion or cream in your cabinet? What if the itch turns into a rash and nothing seems to help? This might surprise you, but persistent itching and rashes that don't seem to have an obvious cause could be telling you something much more important about your health, specifically, your liver. Let me share a real-life story to illustrate just how serious this can be. A patient of mine, Rebecca, came to me after months of relentless itching. It started as a mild irritation, just a little scratch here and there. But over time, the itch became unbearable. Rebecca tried everything: creams, oils, antihistamines, you name it. Nothing worked. The itch seemed to spread, and she developed a rash on her arms and legs. The more she scratched, the worse it got. At first, Rebecca thought it was just an allergic reaction, maybe to something in the detergent or new clothes she had purchased. But after weeks of dealing with it, she realized that the rash wasn't just from allergies. It was persistent, spreading across her body, and the itching was driving her crazy. It started affecting her daily life, making it hard to sleep or concentrate at work. The more she scratched, the more inflamed her skin became. When she came to see me, I immediately suspected that something might be going on with her liver. Persistent itching, especially when there's no clear cause, can sometimes indicate that the liver isn't functioning properly. The liver plays a crucial role in detoxifying your body, removing waste and toxins from your bloodstream. When the liver starts to struggle, whether due to a disease, infection, or other dysfunction, those toxins can build up in your bloodstream, causing reactions like persistent skin irritation and rashes. After running a series of tests, we discovered that Rebecca's liver wasn't filtering toxins the way it should. The buildup of waste in her bloodstream was causing her skin to react, leading to the itching and rash that just wouldn't go away. This is a classic example of how a liver issue can manifest as a skin problem, something that many people wouldn't normally connect. Here's the important lesson. If you're dealing with chronic itching, a rash that doesn't go away, or any kind of skin irritation that seems unusual, it's time to pay attention. While many people assume that these skin issues are related to dryness, allergies, or simple skin conditions, it could actually be a sign of something more serious happening inside your body, and specifically, with your liver. Rebecca's case is a perfect example of why you should never ignore persistent skin symptoms. If you've been scratching for weeks, or if you notice unusual rashes that aren't responding to regular treatments, don't just reach for over-the-counter creams. Yes, creams may provide temporary relief, but they're not addressing the root cause. If you also notice yellowing skin or eyes, jaundice, or if you're feeling more fatigued than usual, don't delay. Get your liver checked out by a doctor. Here's why. Your liver plays a key role in filtering out toxins and processing everything you consume, from food to medications. If your liver is struggling, toxins can build up in your body, causing symptoms like itching and rashes. And while a rash might seem like a simple skin issue, it could be an early warning sign of liver disease, and catching that early can make all the difference in preventing further complications. So, what should you do if you've been battling persistent itching or a rash with no clear cause? Listen to your body. If these symptoms don't go away or keep getting worse, it's time to consult with a healthcare professional. The earlier you seek help, the sooner you can address any liver issues and prevent them from escalating into something more serious. Think of your body like a well-oiled machine. Every part needs to function properly for everything to work smoothly. If one part, like your liver, isn't pulling its weight, it can affect the rest of the system, including your skin. So, don't wait for the symptoms to get worse. If you're dealing with persistent itching or rashes, take it seriously. Get your liver checked out and take steps to keep it healthy. So, there you have it, the 7 early warning signs of liver cancer that you should definitely keep an eye on. Remember, early detection is key. Your liver, though resilient, can send subtle signals long before serious symptoms appear. Catching those signs early could make all the difference in your treatment options and overall health. But here's the thing. Prevention is always better than cure. While recognizing those early signs is crucial, it's even more important to take steps to protect your liver in the first place. Your liver is vital to your body's overall health and well-being, so taking care of it should be a top priority. Let's dive into a few simple yet powerful tips that you can start applying today to keep your liver in top shape. 1. Vaccinate against hepatitis B. This virus is a leading cause of liver cancer. It's an easy step to prevent a major health threat, so make sure you're up to date with your vaccinations. 2. Limit alcohol consumption. We all love to unwind with a drink now and then, but excessive alcohol can seriously damage your liver over time. It's all about moderation. 3. Eat a balanced, liver-friendly diet. Fill your plate with plenty of fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. These foods are rich in nutrients that help support liver function and detoxification. Avoid processed foods and those high in unhealthy fats, as they can put unnecessary strain on your liver. 4. Get regular health checkups, especially if you have a family history of liver disease or other risk factors. Regular visits to your doctor for blood tests or liver function tests can catch any issues early before they progress. 5. Steer clear of toxins. Be mindful of what you put in your body and environment. Aflatoxins, which are found in moldy grains and nuts, and other harmful chemicals can damage your liver. Make sure you're eating safe, clean food and avoiding exposure to toxins as much as possible. Now, here's my final thought. Your liver works non-stop to keep you healthy. It's one of the hardest working organs in your body, and it deserves your attention and care. If you notice any of the signs we discussed, whether it's unexplained fatigue, jaundice, or unexplained weight loss, don't ignore them. Take action immediately. The earlier liver problems are detected, the easier and more effective the treatment can be. Remember, you don't have to wait until something goes wrong. Start prioritizing your liver health today and live a long, healthy life. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe so you can stay updated with all our future health tips. Together, we can take control of our health, protect our livers, and live our best lives. Take care of your liver, take care of yourself, and as always, let's stay healthy and happy.